A winter storm warning in effect through Thursday, and while less snow fell than initially anticipated on Tuesday night, the National Weather Service says don't be fooled. Round 2 will include heavier snow and gusty winds. The winter storm has police and emergency personnel taking extra steps. Brooklyn Center police say they have a plan in place if they need to go out for service calls and the roads are impacted by drifting snow. Here's Sonia Goins.
These neighborhood streets are passable now, but if we get the amount of snow that meteorologists are predicting, it could be challenging for Brooklyn Center police squads doing emergency calls. The National Weather Service is predicting dangerous driving conditions with blowing snow and poor visibility Wednesday into Thursday. The conditions are not ideal, especially if you have to be out on the roads.
If it gets really bad, with the blowing and drifting snow, they could narrow up considerably.
Brooklyn Center Police Commander Tony Grunick says the department has a plan in place should weather conditions turn extreme.
We'll have a plow truck at one of our fire stations, and then we can have an emergency vehicle like at North Memorial and a police vehicle and a fire truck, and they can all go to the call for service together, having the plow lead the way for us.
And to add insult to injury, all the squad cars are parked outside, so someone will have to dig them out before they head out during an emergency.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a hassle. We try to keep the ones that we use clean, so that helps.
Brooklyn Center officials are asking residents to keep their vehicles off the roads and to stay home if possible. They also want residents to remove garbage cans off the streets to help the plow drivers.
We kind of need to come together as a community, and everyone needs to work together to keep the streets clean and safe.
In Brooklyn Center, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
The Brooklyn Center Fire Department is also encouraging residents to keep fire hydrants clear of snow. This week's winter storm is not welcome news for those who had to cancel plans or for parents who've had to juggle their child's e-learning. But as Delane Cleveland reports, with a big event happening this weekend in Maple Grove, the massive snowfall couldn't have come at a better time.
We're really excited to just be sharing the outdoors with everybody.
When it comes to winter, there is generally two schools of thought. Avoid the outdoors as much as possible or embrace all that Mother Nature has to offer.
Both Alpine and Nordic are a great way to enjoy winter and find some joy, even though a lot of people struggle in the winter with it being so cold out.
Erica Myers is an avid Nordic skier, and she made the trek from St. Paul to get time in on the course at Elm Creek Park Reserve.
I wanted to get out on the trails. We've got a big ski race coming up this weekend, so got to get one more day of training in.
Exciting isn't the first word that comes to mind for a lot of people when they hear that more than a foot of snow is on the way. But it's music to the ears of the Three Rivers Park District.
This new snowfall has me more excited about winter than I have been all winter.
Dominic Ray is one of the staff members here at Elm Creek Park Reserve, which is hosting Winter Play Day on February 25th. It's a day when people can rent cross-country skis or snowshoes free of charge. And if you're into other activities like tubing, downhill skiing, or snowboarding, you can do all of those things at a discounted rate.
Don't be intimidated by the number of people that might be interested in coming out to this event because it's spread throughout the park district.
Prime condition to enjoy some winter fun, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro.
I mean, it's still bad driving weather, but I'm excited for the weekend.
In Maple Grove, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
Advanced reservations are required for tubing at Elm Creek Park. For a full list of the free and discounted activities, you can go to our website, ccxmedia.org. Brooklyn Center police are investigating a carjacking and robbery of an Uber driver. According to Brooklyn Center police, the Uber driver picked up 3 male customers Monday night. At some point after everyone got in, 2 of the males held guns to the driver. Police say the Uber driver was forced to go to multiple ATMs and withdraw money. A short time later, the robbers ordered the victim out of his vehicle and in a residential neighborhood, and then they took off with his car. As of Wednesday morning, no arrests had been made. A little too fast, a little too quick. That's a Maple Grove senator's reaction to a bill that allows convicted felons to vote as soon as they get out of prison, instead of requiring them to complete their probation.
Probation is a testing time. It's not a get out of jail and your sentence is over.
The Minnesota Senate passed the bill on a 35-30 vote. Attempts by Republicans to weaken it failed, including one amendment to exclude people convicted of violent crimes. Local Democrats in favor say it will help reintegrate former inmates back into society.
The fact is, at some point, 95% of incarcerated persons are going to be released from prison and re-enter our communities. We want them to safely and successfully reintegrate into our community to get jobs, housing, community involvement, and education. Voting is a piece of that.
Governor Tim Walz is expected to sign the bill, making Minnesota the 22nd such state to have that legislation. Now that cities have ordinances in place for sales of products containing THC, they are fielding license requests. On Tuesday night, the Robbinsdale City Council approved 2 such requests. The owner of Vapor Bunker, which is in the Robins Center, and the owner of Birdhouse Eat and Drink, located on West Broadway, both submitted applications to sell THC products. The Robbinsdale City Council approved those requests contingent on successful background checks. THC is the chemical that produces the high sensation. Last month, Robbinsdale approved rules to allow sales of THC edible products. The new rules went into effect last week. For the first time in over 4 months, the Robbinsdale City Council has a full council again. On Tuesday night, Regan Murphy was sworn in to represent Ward 1. Murphy won a special election for the council seat on February 14th. Murphy previously served 2 terms as mayor of Robbinsdale. The Ward 1 seat had been vacant since Tyler Klein resigned last May following a drunken driving crash and fleeing police. Murphy will serve the remainder of Klein's term, which runs through the end of next year.
The boys hockey section playoffs are underway. Games in Section 6AA were moved up to Tuesday in anticipation of the second wave of the big snowstorm. Benilde-St. Margaret's hosted Blake in the quarterfinals, and Jason Malillo has the highlights.
It's 3-seed Benilde-St. Margaret's against 6-seed Blake in the Section 6AA quarterfinals. Red Knights strike quick. Ryan Baird plays the rebound down with his hand and then pops it in for a 1-0 lead. A few minutes later, Drew Stewart snipes a shot top corner and the Knights are up 2-rip. Second period, Gavin Reed comes off the wall and picks the corner for another Benilde marker. Knights attack again and Michael Ristow taps in the rebound. It's 4-1 BSM. Then Ristow sets up Ben Norris in the slot and he scores. The Red Knights pump 50 shots on goal and win 7-1. They'll face Edina in the semifinals. In St. Louis Park, Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
Thanks, Jason. Top seed Wayzata won big in their quarterfinal round game Tuesday, beating Hopkins 9-1. So the Trojans play Holy Angels at 3 o'clock Saturday in the first semifinal. Benilde faces Edina in the second semi. That's a 7 p.m. face-off, with the winners playing next Wednesday for the Section 6AA title. All games are at Bloomington Ice Garden. Section 5AA pushed their quarterfinal round playoff games to Saturday, all at Fogarty Ice Arena in Blaine, with the tournament continuing next Tuesday and Thursday. 2 of the top teams in Class 2A boys basketball met up Tuesday as third-ranked Maranatha Christian Academy hosted number 1 Holy Family. Jay Wilcox has the highlights.
Number 3 Maranatha Christian Academy hosts number 1 Holy Family in a big Class 2A boys basketball matchup. Bailey McDonald starts strong for MCA, getting the layup here for a 9-6 lead. Moments later, McDonald pops a long 3 on the way to a 24-point night. New MCA coach Irvin Bryant's team is up by 4. They keep the offensive rebound alive here, and Drew Ballantyne sweeps across the lane for a layup plus a foul. He scores 10. Holy Family gets it going, though. Cole Hansen pops a 3 from the top of the key, and they go in front 25-19. They have not one but 2 6'11" standouts. Colin Mulholland gets the layup here on the way to a 25-point night. Matthew Bluford steps into the middle of the zone and hits for the Mustangs. They're within 5 at 38-33. But Holy Family closes the half strong. Hansen to Bowden Kapke for the big dunk. The 6'11" Butler recruit scores 23, and the Fire leads 45-33 at the half. and they dominate the second. They beat pressure with quick passes here, and Michael Richelson nails an open three for a 48-35 lead. Hansen steals the pass and gets 2 of his 19 points as Holy Family pulls away to beat Maranatha 93-60. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
There is still some good ice out there, buried beneath the snow for ice fishing. Here's Terry Tuma with this week's CCX Ice Fishing Tip.
Vertical jigging spoons work extremely well catching sunfish and crappies through the ice. We so often get, shall we say, hung up on just bobber systems or tungsten jigs, but these different type of lures, the fall rate, the color, the vibration, how we drop it in a water column, use a stop and go. So often too, we think that these fish are close to the bottom. They are not. I caught the crappie just recently 4 feet under the ice. And here too, we have to work with that drop rate, that stop and go, tipping it. Here again too, I spoke earlier about tipping your vertical jigging spoons with a wax worm. Not one wax worm, it had not 2 wax, it had to be 3. I've done a lot of experimenting with that 1, 2, 3, and the same thing with your wigglers, your Eurolarvae, using the red or the white, 3 to 4 of them on that hook. And generally speaking, what I'll do when you have a treble hook, I'll put a 1 wax worm on each treble. But very, very productive. So here again, it's practicing versatility. Sort of think out of the box that will help you catch more fish.